All right, so this is going to walk you through taking data and putting it into Desmos, which if you look up here, you'll see that the website is desmos.com, or you can put in www. The calculator feature, you can just get there straight from the homepage. It just says go to graphing calculator. So what you're going to want to do is once you have your data, so I have some sample data here, is you don't want to, well, I guess you can highlight the column variable names, but really it's just easier if you highlight the data, and then you can click either copy here, or you can do Control C. And then what you'll do is you'll come over here to Desmos, and in this very first blank, you will just paste. So you can either hit paste. Oh, no, you're not going to be able to hit paste. You're just going to do Control V, and that's gonna plot your data points. And then you can adjust either zooming in or zooming out. So this is a pretty large scale, and that's not something that's going to show me necessarily a an accurate or useful piece of information, or information on my, let's see, there we go, on my data. So this is a little more useful. And so in order to find the line of best fit, there's a couple things you're going to do. So first, you're going to click this plus where it says add item. And then you're going to click where it says f of x expression, which is an equation. And then that's going to open up a new field for you. You're going to type the letter y, and then you're going to click the shift and dash, which is an underscore. And you're not going to be able to see anything here, but then you're going to type the number 1, and you'll see that it has sort of written itself below the y, just like if we have y2 minus y1 with that subscript. Then you're going to click the over arrow to make sure that the cursor goes back to being a large cursor. And then instead of the equal sign, you're going to click shift and then the button right above the tab button over, or key all the way over on the left, top left side. It's the Oops, no, I don't want to do that. No. It's the key to the left of the number 1 and right above the tab, and you're going to click shift and hit that, and it's going to look like that little squiggly line. Now, once you have that, you're going to click M for slope, then X, and then you're going to do the underscore 1 again. So underscore, so shift to the dash to get underscore, and 1. And now you will see this lovely line appear. And it has put the line of best fit in, and it goes through 0. And this particular data is actually about salary with 18-year-olds. Like, it starts at age 18, and then it goes up from there. And so this has created this line of best fit, and it makes sense to go through 0, 0, because if you are not alive, then you would not be making any money. So that makes a lot of sense. Um, and so what I can do here is, now that I have my line of best fit, it's going to be a lot easier for me to calculate my residuals, because what I can do is I can look at my data and say, okay, I want to use 1818, which is, I think it's this one right here, right? 1818, right? So then I'm going to come up onto my line of best fit, and I'm going to make sure that it says 18. So you can kind of, I have it clicked, I've held it down. And so now I have this point here that I just nudged a little bit to get it exactly at 18. So what I would do is I would write this down. I would write down 18, 28.708. And when I was calculating my residuals, the residual calculation is observed minus predicted. So actual minus predicted. So the actual Y value is 18. The predicted Y value is 28.708. So when I subtracted it, it would be 10.708. And then you can do this with some other points. You can do some with closer points, like this particular point is 2238. So I could make this, let's see, 22 and then 35.087. So this is closer to 3, a negative 3. No, 38 minus predicted. Yeah, so negative 3. So this makes it a lot easier for you to calculate your line of best fit equation, because you can then take two different points on the line and find the slope. Um, in fact, you actually can see the slope. The Desmos calculates the slope for you right here where it says parameters. That is M. M is 1.59488, but you still want to show the points that you're using. So like, let's say you want 12.56 comma 20.032, and then, 30, and then this. So you still want to write down the points that you're using, but that way you can at least check to make sure that you know that it's the correct slope. And then you can use those residuals. You can add those residuals together, regardless of how many you use, whether you do 2 or 3 or 4 or all of them. You can add the residual values together. And the closer you get to 0, the better your line of best fit. Now, this particular line of best fit, I don't think it's going to be a very good one. Because you can see a lot of my data is below this line and quite a bit of data is above this line. I think this would make a lot more sense if I had a negative y-intercept, so maybe like minus 20. That looks like a much better line of best fit, but it doesn't really make sense given my data, um, because, well, I mean, I guess, no, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense given my data because you can't be negative born. Like, you can't be negative 20 if you talk about your age, and your uh, how much you're earning. Like, you can't earn negative money. So it really doesn't make sense. But this certainly would be a better line of best fit. So you kind of have to play around with it based on what you think your y-intercept's going to be or what it should be, and then fitting it with the data. And so that is how you use Desmos to calculate a line of best fit or to create a line of best fit, and then calculate your residuals given the points that they have on the line. And all you have to do, again, all I've done here is I have clicked on the line, and I'm just kind of moving it a little bit. You can see that I'm moving it until I get it where I want. I just have the cursor pressed down. I just have the mouse. You have to hold it down if you want to see the point. If I let go of the cursor, the point goes away. See, there's the point. I let go of the cursor. Cursor down, cursor up. Um, so hopefully that'll be helpful for you, especially as you're going through and doing some of those assignments. And if you have questions, of course, make sure you contact me.